So apparently there was a football game last night. Apparently. Um, Happy New Year, everybody. All Lang Syne and such. Okay, so yeah, there was a football game. A lot to get to here, so I'm going to go ahead and just roll right into it. The same way we just rolled right into this new year. I like college football a lot, and the season is over. And the season may not have gone the way that I wanted it to right at the very end. But here's what I'm going to do, right? Because I'm a silver lining kind of person. Because honestly, if I wasn't a silver lining kind of person, I would just be mad all the damn time. So I'm going to try to take some lessons from these things that have happened over the past little bit of time here, and try to get some feel for maybe how something, maybe we can glean something good out of this. So, for those of you who are Big Ten fans for whatever reason, um, we all know what happened to Ohio State. They got the door shut on them in their semifinal game. And a lot of people started using the term, oh, well, they played down to their competition. Oh, they played down to their competition. It's one of those kind of football isms that you kind of say, okay, well, that's coach speak or that's analyst speak for, they just wasn't very good. No, we'll get to that. We'll kind of explain what that means and how you can pull that and make it something you can use in your own daily life, whether you play football or not. I was in the car listening to the radio after the game, and I heard some talk show host, talking to some caller from some place, somewhere on some affiliate station, talking once again about well, they're so used to playing down to their competition. And then the radio host said, oh, well, are you trying to say that they would have won if they hadn't? Are you saying that they were the best team? And the guy was like, maybe not necessarily the best team. Well, uh, let's let's break into exactly what that means. See, when you play down to your competition, this is what it says. That's not to say that them or any one team is the best ever, the greatest ever, the GOAT, and that they're always going to win no matter what, no matter what. It's just they didn't play to their potential. Playing to your potential is kind of a relative thing. I mean, there's always going to be little wrinkles in that, no matter what happens or what goes on. The point about playing down to your competition basically says that you kind of you set sort of a soft limit for yourself. For example, in your own personal life, if there's somebody who you are trying to be in competition with, somebody maybe it's a work colleague, maybe you're trying to go for a promotion, maybe you're vying for the affections of a particular female or whatever, and you know who your alpha dog is over here that you've got to be better than. The world is kind of derived off competition, and so we're used to just trying to be better than somebody else. We don't actually look at being our best self. And that's kind of what the playing down to the competition thing ultimately means, is that when you look at somebody and you say, hey, that person over there uh, is X amount of good, I want to be better than them. I want to beat them. So let me just be as good as they are, but plus one. And what you do is you essentially cap yourself. You say, I don't have to be as good as I could be. I don't have to worry about, what if something else comes along. I don't have to worry about the long term effects of my efforts or whatever. Short term, short sighted, I'm going to beat this guy. I'm going to be better than him. And then I'll get my MacGuffin or whatever. And then I'll be straight. And here we go. And then what happens is you beat that person and you're rolling in the sunshine. This other person may not even realize they were in competition with you. It might have been something that you superimposed upon them. And now, while they're trying to kind of build back up or whatever, uh, now you're just sitting pretty and you're just about it. And then somebody else comes along and says, hey, you plus one. And now you're knocked down a peg. So what I'm trying to say with all that is that you whenever you're trying to compete with other people. It's not about beating the other team. I know that flies in the face of everything you've ever heard every little league coach say ever. It's not about beating the other team. It's about, or the other person. It's about beating who you were yesterday. It's about being your best and performing your best or as close to your best as you can do. And then where the chips falls, where the chips falls. I mean, like I said, things are going to happen, but you know, you got to put your best foot forward at all times. Otherwise, you're going to get snuck up on and you're going to get got. So that's lesson numero uno. And now, Alabama. Now, I do like my Roll Tiders there. And I was rooting for them. And I actually felt pretty good about this championship game. And to be fair, it was actually a really good game. A lot of back and forth, it was a good old classic slugfest, and I enjoyed it. Not really. I was pissed off for a lot of, especially there at the very end. I was a bad sport. I'll admit it. When it came down, the final touchdown, and then it was like we had 1 second, and it was just a kick, and I was going to see if maybe there was some miraculous way that there could be a scoop and score on the very last second of the game that take it back to Alabama and bring the championship back to Tuscaloosa. But I went ahead and picked up the remote control and had my finger on the power button, and as soon as I saw that they fell back on the ball, I said, click, it's time to go to bed. So there was, of course, a gnashing of teeth at my house. I was asked by Tiffany why, well, you know, why are you so upset? You didn't do it. It's not your fault. You can't win them all. To which I said, why not? You know, it was a bad time. But you know what? That was in the heat of the moment. And I've had time since last night to reflect on it. And here's kind of what I got from that. See, you can't win them all. And that's kind of a hard thing for a lot of people to kind of fathom. You know, winning is kind of, whether erroneously or not, synonymous with the idea of being in the best position, of being safe, of being the best, of having everything before you. When you lose, when you fail or whatever, when you don't find success, it's sort of, once again, erroneously or not, synonymous with being sort of in a less glamorous position. It means that there are things that need to be fixed. There are problems. You have to fix these things or whatever. You know, it's sort of the connotation that goes with it. You know, just it can't just be, well, we won. Woo, we lost. Crap. It's, hey, we won, so everything's gravy and Gucci from here on out, or we lost. We got to clean house and fix a lot of crap because there's a lot of crap need fixing. And what you have to do is, once again, in your own life, unless you're a football player, if you're a coach or whatever, you kind of have to take a minute and you kind of have to breathe. You kind of have to go, okay, what does this mean for me? Well, it means it's a learning opportunity. See, a lot of people will tell you that, well, when you fail, it means that you learn something, and that's true. Of course, I also believe that you have to have a healthy amount of winning to know what to do to learn. You know, you can't just learn by way of elimination or whatever. Well, this failed and 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 that failed and this failed. Let's try this, and it'll probably fail, and kind of fail your way into success. You eventually have to do something that gives you some success so that you can figure out what is successful and what is not. But that being said, it is good to occasionally lose. It's humbling. It puts you in a position of trying to remember how you got to success in the first place, because success, prolonged success, can breed some degree of complacency. It's really easy to talk about how we won and how everything's great and wonderful and sun shines on us forever because we're just that damn good. And maybe you're not that damn good. Maybe there are holes that people can try to plug through. Maybe there are chinks in the armor that can be peeled back in a way. Not everything is completely 100% infallible. And it's good to kind of have that humbling experience of, wow, I kind of took this one on the chin a little bit. So in your own life, you think about times when maybe because I'll be honest, I hate to lose. I hate to lose. I despise to lose. But you know what? I've gotten better with it at age. I like to think that I'm a pretty good baller at Super Smash Brothers. For instance, there have been a couple of times I've gotten, soundly trounced, assuming that's a word. I was given a proper thrashing. Whether it's just that was my stupidity that somebody else capitalized on, or whether that's somebody just had a better day than me. Maybe I had a bad day. There's all kind of force majeure, I believe a technical legal term is for just the way the wind blew that day. There are all kinds of reasons and excuses for why, well, I say excuses, explanations for why maybe you didn't win the way that you thought you should have won. So, it's a time to kind of step back and say, you know what, these things are going to happen. It's rough. It's really rough. And I understand that. It's rough on me even right now in this day and age, right now and moving forward, because there's things that I want or things that I try to do that don't always work out the way that I want them to. I see them going one way in my head and they go completely other way. And it's like, what am I supposed to do? Does that make me a failure? No, it does not make you a failure. Bad things are going to happen to you. You're not always going to be able to win all the time. And it's how you act after kind of getting your teeth kicked in that says the most about you as a competitor or as a general warrior type, stand up and fight sort of person. If you can dust yourself off and say, well, that sucked, here's round two, then okay, that's good. But don't just get your teeth kicked in and then roll around in the dirt and cry about it for the rest of your life. Get up, get mad, get angry, and then go back out there and try not to get your teeth kicked in. These are, I believe, reasonable New Year's resolutions. You hear a lot of things about, I'm going to lose weight and I'm going to be a better this, or I'm going to finally learn how to cook or whatever. All good. But at the base of all that, you got to think about what really breeds success and what kind of attitude you got to have and how you are going to be a better you moving forward. You can't just try to be better than the next guy because there's always going to be somebody better than you if you're just trying to stair step your way up a ladder. You just got to be the best you can be and just let that be. And if you win, cool. If you lose, get good. But at the end of the day, you just need to keep trying. You just need to don't give up. Don't let it go. Don't be done with it. Don't kick it down and say, well, screw this, I'm out. No, just keep at it. Keep on trugging. Keep on chugging. And you know what? Maybe success will just kind of fall in your lap one day. And then you'll be able to give advice like this to other people. Right? Right. Thanks for watching. Hey, I hope you have a great and happy start to your new year. It's still technically within the first few days, so I can keep saying Happy New Year. Happy New Year! Bye!